Hey there, and a massive welcome to Brief Learning. So glad you could tune in to today's audio episode. Life has this funny way of throwing everything at us all at once, doesn't it? One minute you're cruising, and the next, you're juggling what feels like a dozen flaming torches. If you've ever felt that way, like you're being pulled in a million directions, then believe me, you're in exactly the right place today. Have you ever felt like you're drowning in a sea of shoulds and must-dos? Like your to-do list has a to-do list, and every single item feels critically important. You want to be a great student, an amazing employee, a supportive family member, a good friend, pursue your hobbies, stay fit, save the world. And somewhere in that whirlwind, you just feel exhausted, overwhelmed. Maybe even like you're failing at everything because you're trying to do everything. Well, today, we're going to talk about a powerful yet surprisingly simple strategy to navigate that very feeling. It's a concept that might sound a little counterintuitive at first, but I promise you it can be a game changer for your peace of mind and your actual progress. We're diving deep into the idea of temporarily letting go. Now hold on, this isn't about giving up, quitting, or shirking responsibility. Not at all. It's about making smart, conscious choices to pause certain tasks, ambitions, or even worries so you can channel your precious energy into what truly needs your attention right now. It's about finding a way to breathe, to regain clarity, and to ultimately achieve more by paradoxically trying to do a little less at any given moment. We'll explore why this approach is so vital, how it can rescue you from burnout, and how you can apply it to various areas of your life, from studies and career to personal goals and even family obligations. Think of it as a lifeline, a way to find comfort and strength when the weight of the world feels too heavy. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's explore how pressing pause can lead to profound progress. It's a common thread I hear in so many conversations, so many stories shared with me. People are feeling stretched incredibly thin. It's like we're all part of this unspoken competition to see who can juggle the most. And the truth is, it's taking a toll. I've spoken with young people, incredibly dedicated students who are not just trying to get good grades. They're also working part-time jobs to make ends meet. And on top of that, they're carrying the immense responsibility of supporting their families, sometimes even helping to pay off family debts. Imagine the pressure we're talking about: individuals in their late teens or early 20s already shouldering burdens that would challenge someone much older and more established. It's 2025, and these situations of profound hardship and responsibility are still incredibly real for so many. If you're single, focusing solely on your own path, that's one kind of challenge. Young people are resilient. They can often endure a lot for their own goals. But when you're responsible for the well-being of your parents, your siblings, or other family members, the emotional weight multiplies tenfold. I've heard these young individuals tell me, "I'm just so tired, so incredibly tired. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up." And my heart aches hearing it. It's not just about financial burdens either. Many of us are overwhelmed by the sheer number of options and expectations. We see others seemingly doing it all, excelling in their careers, maintaining picture-perfect homes, traveling the world, mastering new skills, and having vibrant social lives. Social media often amplifies this, creating a highlight reel that can make our own efforts feel inadequate. So we try to keep up. We say yes to everything. We take on more projects, more commitments, more goals, driven by a desire to achieve, to contribute, or sometimes simply by a fear of missing out. Think about it: career ambitions. We want that promotion, to learn new industry skills, to network effectively, maybe even start a side hustle. Personal development. We aim to read more books, learn a new language, pick up a musical instrument, get fitter, eat healthier. Social and family life. We want to be there for our loved ones, attend social gatherings, maintain friendships, contribute to our communities. Each of these is a worthy pursuit on its own. But when we try to give 100% to all of them, simultaneously, something has to give. And usually it's our own well-being, our mental peace, and ironically, our actual effectiveness in any single area. We end up spreading ourselves so thin that we're not really making significant progress anywhere. We're just busy. Busy being stressed, busy feeling inadequate. This feeling of being constantly overwhelmed isn't a sign of personal failure. It's often a symptom of the world we live in and the pressures we internalize. The good news is we don't have to stay trapped in this cycle. There's a way to navigate these waters more skillfully. So, what's the antidote to this pervasive sense of overwhelm? For a long time, I pondered this. I listened to these stories of struggle, and I felt this deep urge to find some way, some perspective that could offer genuine comfort and a practical path forward. And after much reflection, a concept crystallized in my mind, one that I've tested in my own life and found to be incredibly powerful. I call it temporarily letting go. Let me be absolutely clear, this is not about giving up. It's not about abandoning your dreams or your responsibilities. It's not about being irresponsible or lazy. Far from it. Temporarily letting go is a strategic, conscious decision to pause your active pursuit of certain goals or tasks for a defined period so you can dedicate your full, undivided attention and energy to what is most critical and foundational right now. Imagine you're trying to carry a huge stack of books. You've got so many that the pile is teetering precariously. You can barely see over the top, and with every step, you risk dropping the whole lot. What's the sensible thing to do? You'd probably set some of the books down, secure the ones you can manage, and then come back for the rest. Write temporarily. Letting go is precisely that. It's about acknowledging that you can't effectively manage everything at once. The core problem for many people who feel overwhelmed is that they are trying to be everything to everyone and achieve everything simultaneously. They have multiple important roles and multiple important goals, and if they were able to perfectly balance and excel in all of them, that would be fantastic. But the reality is, often none of the roles are being fulfilled well, and none of the goals are being met effectively. You're technically doing a lot, but not achieving a lot. So the principle is this: identify the tasks or responsibilities that are less critical in this current season of your life and consciously decide to put them on hold. This doesn't mean they aren't important at all. They might be very important in the grand scheme of things. But they are less important than the core central task that needs your focus to build a stable foundation for your future. Think of it as pruning a plant. A gardener will cut back certain branches, not because they are dead or useless, but to allow the plant to direct its energy into producing stronger growth and more abundant fruit on the main stems. By temporarily reducing the load, you create space for more robust development in the areas that matter most for your long-term well-being and success. This approach offers several immediate benefits. Reduces mental clutter. Constantly thinking about a dozen different things creates immense mental noise. Pausing some of them quiets that noise, increases focus and effectiveness. When you concentrate your energy on one or two key things, your ability to do them well skyrockets, alleviates guilt and stress. Trying to do everything and feeling like you're failing at all of them is a recipe for guilt. Giving yourself permission to focus is liberating. Builds momentum. Achieving success in one important area creates a positive feedback loop, boosting your confidence and energy to tackle other things later. This isn't about permanent abandonment. The key word here is temporarily. You are telling yourself, I will come back to this. But for now, my energy needs to be here. It's a compassionate and strategic way to manage your limited resources of time, energy, and attention. Okay, so this idea of temporarily letting go sounds good in theory, but how does it actually work in real life? Let's walk through some common scenarios where this approach can be a total game changer. Remember that student I mentioned earlier, juggling studies, a part-time job, and sending money home to support their family who are also in debt. This is an incredibly tough spot. This student feels a deep sense of love and responsibility for their family. They skimp on their own needs, saving every penny to send home. That money, while perhaps small in the grand scheme of the family's debt, represents their heart, their sacrifice. It's a beautiful act of love. But then comes a dilemma. They need money for their own education, tuition fees, essential supplies, books. If they use their earnings for their studies, there will be little or nothing left to send home that month. The guilt is immense. They can't bear the thought of their family struggling even more because they failed to provide. In this situation, temporarily letting go means advising this student. For now, your absolute top priority must be your education. Focus on getting that degree, on mastering your chosen field, on building a strong professional foundation. Why? Because in the long run, a good education and strong skills will dramatically increase your earning potential. You'll be in a much better position to help your family substantially and sustainably in the future if you invest in yourself now. This means for a short period you might have to temporarily let go of the responsibility of sending the same amount of money home. It will be painful. You will feel that guilt. But it's not an act of selfishness or neglect. It's a strategic decision for a better future for everyone. Explain this to your family. Let them know it's a temporary measure for a greater long-term gain. Think about it if you drop out of school because you can't afford it while trying to support everyone. What happens then? You might be stuck in low-paying jobs. Your health might suffer from overwork, and your ability to help your family in a meaningful way diminishes over time. People with specialized skills often see their careers and income grow. Those without often find themselves working harder for less as they age. This isn't about abandoning filial piety, it's about practicing wise filial piety. Sometimes this temporary pause might only be for a few months, just enough time to cover a crucial academic expense, buy necessary tools, and stabilize your studies. Then you can reassess and perhaps resume sending support. The key is to think beyond the immediate pain and focus on the larger, more sustainable solution. Do you know someone, maybe it's you, who wants to do everything? They have a dozen dreams, a multitude of passions. They're a multi-potentialite, which is fantastic. They want to learn tennis, then switch to badminton because tennis felt too hard. After a while, badminton isn't clicking, so they try billiards. They get beaten consistently, get frustrated, and start looking for the next new sport. Or maybe it's learning languages. They start Spanish, then hear that Mandarin is more useful, so they dabble in that. Then French sounds romantic, so they try a few lessons. The result: they can say hello in 5 languages, but can't hold a conversation in any of them. The same applies to reading. They start one book, then see another exciting title jump to that. Then another, and another. A year later, they've started 20 books, but finished none. In these cases, the advice is the same: temporarily let go. Yes, it's wonderful to have many interests. Being versatile, expanding your horizons, joining different communities, these are all incredibly enriching. But if you're constantly jumping from one thing to another without achieving a reasonable level of competence, in any you end up feeling frustrated and unaccomplished. What should be a source of joy becomes a source of self-doubt. So pick one thing, just one for now. If it's a sport, commit to it for a set period, say 6 months. Take lessons. Practice regularly, focus on the fundamentals, and work your way up. Get to a point where you feel competent, where you can actually enjoy playing, where you're seeing improvement. If it's a language, dedicate yourself to that one language until you reach a conversational level. If it's a skill, immerse yourself in it until you've truly mastered the basics and can produce something of quality. All those other fascinating hobbies and interests, they aren't going anywhere. Write them down on a someday maybe list. Tell yourself, I will explore you, but not right now. Right now, I am committed to this. Once you've achieved a solid level in your chosen focus area, then you can consider picking up something new from your list. Build a foundation first. Become truly good, even excellent at one thing before you diversify. This sense of mastery will give you the confidence and discipline to learn other things more effectively later on. This is a common one. Someone wants to lose weight or get fit. They try Diet A for a month, don't see instant results, so they jump to Diet B. A few weeks later, that's not working miracles either, so they try Exercise Program C. Then it's on to D, E, F, and G. They're constantly chasing the next trend, the next quick fix. The result? Minimal progress and a lot of frustration. The solution? Temporarily let go of all the other options. Research and choose one sensible, sustainable approach that resonates with you and fits your lifestyle. Maybe it's running. Commit to running, say 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week for at least 4 months. That's it. Don't get distracted by the new spinning class your friend is raving about or the revolutionary diet you saw online. Put all those other methods on temporary hold. Give your chosen method a real, honest chance to work. Track your progress. Be patient. If after that dedicated 4-month period with consistent effort, you genuinely see no results, then you can reevaluate and consider trying something else from your temporarily paused list. But jumping around every few weeks is a surefire way to achieve nothing. Imagine someone is facing significant debt. Their mind is racing with a dozen thoughts. I need to pay this back. I need to earn more money. I need to appease my creditors. I need to make sure my family is okay. I want to prove I'm not a failure. I need to turn things around quickly. They're trying to solve 5 or 6 major problems all at once. In such a critical situation, the advice is stark. Your number one, almost sole priority must be to address the debt. Temporarily let go of ambitions to get rich quickly, or to prove a point to others, or even grand gestures of filial piety that might require more spending. Focus. If you try to pay off debt and simultaneously chase a high-risk, get-rich-quick scheme, which sadly often leads people in debt towards gambling or other desperate measures, you're likely to dig yourself into an even deeper hole. The pressure to solve everything at once can lead to terrible decisions. Instead, stop the bleeding. Ensure the debt isn't increasing. Negotiate, talk to your creditors. Be honest. Try to arrange a manageable repayment plan. Ask for a temporary reprieve if possible. Focus on your core income. Go back to your main job, your most stable skill, and work diligently to earn what you can to make those repayments. Even if it takes years to clear the debt, that steady, focused approach is far safer and more effective than trying to juggle multiple high-stakes, high-stress goals when you're already vulnerable. Let go of the need to save face quickly or achieve instant financial turnarounds. The most important thing is to methodically, responsibly address the primary issue. In all these scenarios, temporarily letting go isn't about weakness. It's about strategic strength. It's about understanding that your energy and attention are finite resources and using them wisely. When you start practicing this art of temporarily letting go, you'll begin to notice some pretty amazing changes, not just in what you accomplish, but in how you feel. 1. A profound sense of relief and reduced anxiety. Constantly feeling like you should be doing 10 things when you only have the capacity for 2 is incredibly stressful. Giving yourself explicit permission to pause certain tasks lifts a huge mental weight. That nagging voice saying, "You still haven't started X," or "You're falling behind on Y," gets quieter. This mental peace is invaluable. You're no longer fighting a battle on 10 fronts. You're strategically focusing your forces. 2. Increased clarity and sharper focus. When your mental bandwidth isn't clogged with a multitude of competing priorities, you can bring a laser-like focus to the task at hand. This heightened concentration almost always leads to higher quality work and faster progress in your chosen area. You're not just going through the motions, you're deeply engaged. 3. Genuine progress and a sense of accomplishment. Instead of making tiny, almost invisible bits of progress in many areas, or worse, no progress at all, you start to see tangible results in the area you've prioritized. Finishing that important project, mastering that new skill, making a significant dent in that debt, these achievements are incredibly motivating. This feeling of "I did it" is a powerful antidote to the discouragement that comes from spreading yourself too thin. Success breeds success. 4. Enhanced self-awareness and better decision-making. The process of deciding what to temporarily let go of forces you to really think about your priorities. What truly matters most to you right now? What is foundational for your future? This self-reflection is a skill in itself. You become better at distinguishing between what's urgent and what's truly important, what's a fleeting interest versus a deep-seated goal. 5. More sustainable energy and prevention of burnout. Trying to run on all cylinders all the time is a fast track to burnout. Temporarily letting go is like giving yourself strategic rest stops on a long journey. It allows you to replenish your energy to tackle your main priorities with renewed vigor and to sustain your efforts over the long haul. You're playing the long game, not just sprinting until you collapse. 6. Improved relationships. When you're less stressed and overwhelmed, you're generally a more pleasant person to be around. You have more patience, more mental space for the people in your life. Also, by focusing on, for example, your education to better support your family in the future, you are making a loving, albeit delayed, investment in those relationships. 7. The joy of re-engagement. And here's a beautiful part: when the time is right, when you've accomplished your primary goal or stabilized your situation, you can then turn your attention back to some of those things you temporarily set aside. You can approach them with fresh energy, a clear mind, and the confidence that comes from your recent successes. It's not an either-or situation, it's a this for now and that later. Remember, the things you temporarily let go of are not lost forever. They are waiting for you on the shelf. You're simply acknowledging that you are human with human limitations, and you're choosing to work with those limitations intelligently rather than constantly fighting against them. This isn't about lowering your ambitions. It's about sequencing them in a way that makes them achievable. So, as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Temporarily letting go is an act of profound self-compassion and strategic wisdom. In a world that constantly screams, more faster now, choosing to consciously pause certain pursuits to focus on what truly matters is a quiet act of rebellion and a powerful step towards genuine sustainable progress. It's about understanding that you don't have to do everything all at once to be worthy or successful. It's okay to say, not right now. It's okay to focus. It's okay to prioritize your well-being and your long-term goals over the pressure of immediate scattered activity. My challenge to you this week is to take a moment for quiet reflection. Look at all the things you're juggling. Is there anything you can consciously, lovingly, and temporarily set down? What one or two things, if you gave them your focused attention, would make the biggest positive impact on your life right now? Give yourself permission to make that choice. You might be surprised at how much lighter you feel and how much more effectively you move forward. Remember, this isn't about abandoning your dreams. It's about creating a realistic and sustainable path to achieving them. You're not dropping the ball. You're just choosing which ones to keep in the air for this particular season of your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly hope this conversation has offered you some comfort, some clarity, and a practical tool to navigate the beautiful, sometimes chaotic journey of life. Be kind to yourself, be strategic with your energy, and remember that sometimes the most powerful move is to simply pause. Until next time, take care, keep shining, and don't be afraid to temporarily let go.